Tiny Tina Mage of Doom. If you got tired of the DK tank when it changed, there's a lot of other tank options out there. I just wanted to quickly show you guys as fast as possible this tank build. I'll show you the armor and the abilities and the champion points after I do this. I'm going to give you an example of what I built this tank for and what she can actually handle. So I've tanked almost all the VETS with her pretty easily, and it's a great option because there's some really horrible DPS, and it's just good to have a tank that can actually put out a lot of DPS as well, as long as having a lot of self-sustain. So we'll start working our way through this. This is Skyreach, by the way. I'll show you the location. It's one of the most popular one of the most popular farming areas because you can pull the entire zone, AoE everything down, but a lot of people have to stop the halfway point, and they have to have a high level because these things normally hit really hard, but you're a tank, you're going to be able to take all this. I'm going to pull it all, and then I am going to just burst it all down. You'll notice I can pretty much AoE as I go. I don't have to stop. That's what you're going to do in VETS. You're going to do it in normals. You're going to tell the DPS to keep up with you. What you're doing is just dropping AoEs, keeping your buffs loaded on your bar, restoring your magicka with your stamina. Let me go. Keep hitting like weird and rooted and stuff. Alright, we're almost at the end. I wanted to have as many of the fly as possible. I kept them rooted so they probably all kept getting killed. Alright, here we go. I'm gonna ult, roll out. Let's murder what's remaining. I think most of it is just dying clear. This stuff doesn't reset because it's a dungeon. It's just like if you were in like a 4-man dungeon. That's why it's such a good place to farm. And again, this is a tank. I think I'm in all heavy armor. Just the heavy armors I'm using are proc sets, and then I spec more into spell power as well. And all this AoE damage is just causing everything to get exploded. So I just cleared all Skywatch without really stopping till the end. Oh man, some of it did reset. Got that first. So here's an example of the healing. I don't have any heals going. I'm just standing here. Because mages can crit on heal, all that AoE armor is proccing, and all the AoEs of the mage is proccing, just causing her to be able to heal every second. Alright, so let me head back to my house and then I'll show you. Well, first off, this is Skyreach Catacombs. Again, it's very popular for grinding levels. You can find it in Craglorn. It's right up here. And you're gonna probably want a duo partner just because you gain that experience increase. With a duo partner, you can just reset it non-stop, and then most people can't clear like this type of character, so you're gonna need to group up and then line of sight, AoE everything down, and then reset the dungeon, and then teleport back into it or walk back in the door, and then do it all over again. I think later on you can gain I don't know how many levels per hour, but it's the most popular farm dungeon. So if you're looking to get power leveled and you have the money to pay or the gold to pay people, this is the place that people come. But for the build, again, I used 3 AoE proc sets. Kind of like my Siphon build, but my Siphon build does AoE healing proc sets based off damage done. This character heals off crits, and she's stacking damage proc sets. So you guys probably have seen it if you guys have thought of Mage tanks, but I don't know, because they're all still pretty cheap. But Grothdars, it's a helmet, it's a boss monster helmet you can find. It does the AoE fire damage, so this is like the only thing I have that's actual fire damage. You can actually get the Storm Fist, that crush and do lightning damage, but then you can't move as much. And I like being able to move around and then just AoE everything with that that amount of damage. So gives you magicka, and you deal damage. It gives you a 10% chance to create a pool that does 22/15 flame damage to all enemies within 8 meters every second for 5 seconds. So that's a lot. And it looks like this. So that's the wall of elements. Boom, it procced. So now everything around me is going to be AoE for 22, and that's without the enhancements of champion points and stuff. The second set is going to be Storm Knights. Again, Storm Knights is spell resist, max health, and then you have a 10% chance when you take non-physical damage to do almost 6k shock damage to all enemies within 5 meters every 2 seconds for 6 seconds. And it can occur every 6 seconds. So it's just a massive amount of AoE shock damage when somebody hits you with like a spell, anything else non-physical. And the last one would be Thunderbugs. So Thunderbugs, again, physical damage, spell resist, spell damage, and when you take damage, you have a 50% chance. So another 7,000 damage shock in a 5 meter radius, and it can occur every 3 seconds. So you're a lightning machine. So lightning, and then you're just stacking all these AoEs with your proc gear, just wrecking everything. So it's just massive amount of AoE damage. I did the calculations as I was having problems with that add-on. It wasn't showing my health bars and my magic bar, so I disabled it. But in the minute or two it took me to go all the way around the Skyreach, I did like 5 million damage just in that minute or two amount of time. So it's a ton of AoE damage. So yeah, I'm gonna probably swap this over because I don't really need health recovery. I'm gonna probably put more spell power on or something like that on my rings. So I'm gonna probably swap those enchants. And you don't need impin. Either go block, infused, or Munda stones to try and balance out your stats. So you see I'm below the max right here for resist. The max for resist is around 3,200. So you want to try and get to 30k to 3,200 as close as possible. But see, now I'm even closer with my shield out, and I use my shield most of the time when I'm actually tanking. I just use this bar to stack out my AoEs, and then I swap back over, and I keep holding my aggro. And then you can block. If you don't need to, you can just sit there and do your heavy attacks and your executes. But you want to try and get as close to that. You see, when I go to my lightning form and my shield's at, now I'm above the max resist. So you just have to get somewhat close to it, and then when you re-go lightning form, it's going to give you that huge increase to physical and spell resist. And then I'm going to have, once I swap it over, I'm going to have over 2,000 spell damage. And then, yeah, pretty much expecting to partly health, magicka. That way I can increase my damage and have enough health to tank VETS. I just swapped to the spell damage boon, and it seems to be working fine right now. The abilities I roll on my bar are Pierce Armor. so it's going to increase your damage to it once you breach it. You could go the one that increases your defense if you are not hitting the cap, but definitely use Dark Conversion because this is just your sustain. So you don't really need your stamina as much as you need your magicka. You only need your stamina to block heavy attacks or to roll. You're going to be healing off your crits, so you don't really need to block. So make sure you have Dark Conversion, Liquid Lightning. Again, you're going to be stacking AoEs, and that is a really good AoE damage, Lightning. Absorb Magic, so you can block better, and then there's certain bosses to where you can range tank, and then you can then absorb them, absorb their missiles to you. Inner Light, just to give you that major prophecy, and I have that on just that bar. You can have it on both bars if you want, but I don't really seem to need it. Blockade of Storms, again, you're just stacking AoEs. Boundless Storms, definitely need this one. You see right here, it's going to give you that major resolve and major reward, increasing that physical and spell resist, and it makes you move faster, and then also it does lightning damage. And this is the ability that's going to make you heal. This is what's going to make you an actual tank. So Power Surge. Power Surge, again, is going to increase your spell and weapon damage, but it's also going to heal you for 2,800 each time you crit, and that's going to be enhanced by your champion points. And then you can have Endless Fury to crit. You can roll with Clan Fear for heals. That seems to be pretty good. I was using that in PvP a lot, because I actually use this set sometimes in PvP. The Clan Fear allows you to just pretty much keep healing yourself the more you click it. And then I use a range taunt and an execute, just because I don't really need that extra heal from the Clan Fear, and then I have to resummon them and be annoyed. And then I run with the Eye of Lightning, and then Energy Overload. So that's my normal bar setup, and it works insanely well. And if you want to stay after this, I'll run a dungeon. You don't have to stay the whole time. But let me get to the champion points, and then I'm gonna pop into a normal dungeon and just burn through that real fast so you can see how it works in a dungeon. So I do break free, 43 points. 43 points into magic recovery, stamina recovery, restore. You don't really need health recovery, but I'm gonna start putting my points into it if they increase the champion points. Just because there's really nowhere else for me to go. But the health recovery is just like your regen. But you're gonna be critting and healing so much. Like I just did Sky Reach, my life barely moved, because I was just healing so much. Tumbling and block, because I do like to roll as a tank. I don't usually like to block. I can block. I'm not the tankiest tank, and I'm at max resist. But if you can avoid a heavy attack by just rolling while you're holding block, and then release it. So if there's like some type of lag, it's not going to kill you if you didn't roll in time. But you're going to take 0 damage if you dodge the heavy attack, and then so you just taunt, and then dodge the heavy attack, and then keep like DPSing. So you don't want to like drain the healer's resources by just sitting there and holding block just because you can. You might as well just roll in the whole block, so just in case your roll jacked up, you don't die. Because if you get heavy attacked in a vet, and you don't block, you're probably gonna die. Anything past vet 1 dungeons, there's a boss that heavy attacks, you're gonna die. Let me get back in there. So yeah, Warlord. So heavy armor focus. I wasn't at my physical resist cap, so I went into heavy armor focus to hit my physical resist cap. Quick recovery, because your abilities that's causing you to heal is now going to increase your healing. Plus, this is also from the healer as well. So your self heals and the other healer. Your magical damage you deal. Reduce damage. Reduce damage. Reduce damage. Direct damage attacks. Your damage over time effects increased. I do that to 56, and these to 40, and that to 56. And these to 43 because you're going to hit the cap. That's going to cause like a diminishing returns on this and just cause you to waste points a lot faster. See how this is at 43 and it's only at 15%? all of these that are like this share the same principle. Let's look at that, 10.15. But there's some other ones that are like this, that if you were at 43, you'd be at like 18 or 17. So it's a lot higher. You get a lot more points, a lot more percentage per point. So you can go up to 56 before you start actually seeing that diminishing returns. And then I did Master of Arms because I do have some direct damage, so I wanted to increase it. I'm gonna probably put more points in that later on. Spell Erosion, Elfborn, just to increase my crit healing and magic abilities. Elemental Expert and Blessed, again, just to increase healing done. But that's pretty much my champion points set up. Please subscribe if you like the video. Check out my other Siphon tank if you want a Nightblade version of this using siphoning gear. But I really enjoy this Mage tank. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned if you want to see what it looks like in a dungeon. I'm ready to queue for a dungeon, and it'll be pretty quick. Hopefully. Actually, no. I'm gonna leave that one. I need a farm a specific set for one of my other characters, so I'm gonna do Dark Shade. Dark Shade. Boom. And again, I like playing a tank. Just because look, DPS you'll never get a Q like that. Tank, as soon as you Q, pretty much you get the Q. And you just gotta tell everybody they need to keep up, because if they don't, they're just gonna get left behind and probably killed. Especially if they're the low levels. I like it when we got at least one high level because it goes a little faster, but again, you don't have to depend on these low levels now for the damage. Let's see what we got here. A 23, a 20, and they're gonna take forever to do this dungeon on it.
I'll be at this a while. Cure them all.
Again, I'm here to farm gear.
Kill them.
So, I don't care if their experience is lacking because of how fast we're gonna move.
What's this? Your fodder for the Kwama?
Half the things are probably gonna die by the time we move on. It's because my gear's brocking.
Think you can make fools of us, Sardri?
Get to the boss.
Fan out!
Oh.
I need aid.
You have executes. Like I really like to execute because there's those times where I'm like doing a normal dungeon and everybody is dead, and
Need aid.
it's just easier to just execute things in slow life.
Where's the gold? Do me a favor and
Pretty
take
sick
care of
damage,
the
though.
undesirables
Love it.
down there.
Makes freaking dungeons look stupid easy.
Torch it!
Even VETS, because you're pretty much compensating for the lack of damage that some DPS are bound to do, because not everybody is advanced in DPSing as the good rating players who can optimize at 30k plus DPS. Let me just taunt this crap off. I'm just killing them all off there.
Cowards, the lot of you. This mine belongs to House Celos. You are intruders and will be disciplined as such.
One of the guys didn't even come. He was one of the DPS. I like having the little lightning hand right here, because look at that. It's like 14k light attacks as a tank. It's pretty sick. When they crit at least. Still, that's sick. It's great. The DPS is so low. On the boss. Boss probably has one of the most hit points out of any of the bosses in the dungeon too. So far. It's like it's a mage and shit. And alright, execute down. Let's do it.
Productive bugs, these Kwama.
Stamina the mana, stamina the mana, stamina the mana. And I'm good to go. And now my stamina region back up. Yeah, just keeping those AoEs refreshed. Stamina the mana, stamina the mana. Pull all the way to a boss. This is the next boss. Stamina the mana, mana. Oh! I don't know why it's not as popular. I think most people just think DKs are like the only tanks in the game or something. And there's a lot of like just new players in the game, and that's all they see is just the DKs tanking. It's definitely a lot better options, especially if you're going for time, going for speed. DKs are just naturally more tanky, and they have very tanky abilities, so it's easier to tank as a DK. But once you've gotten past that shy feeling of tanking, there's so many better options to like put out that DPS. Need that Curious of Truth set. Ranged on. just heavy attack with my lightning staff to restore my resources instead of doing that stamina mana. Because all my AoEs are out. Heavy attack, refresh my AoEs. Taunting in. Automatons, I don't need it. Alright. Tank, you can just sit into these effects. Oh. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna need that.
Can I help you?
Chest over there, I'm gonna get that. Range taunt. On bed, I'd probably block or roll. Here, you little bug. Execute. Can't really taunt when he's doing that. Just target somebody. I don't think I died. Get mad. So I can taunt. Alright, well, again, hopefully you guys liked the video, and you can see the little bit of rotation and how it's kind of used. Again, Smirk Smile Grim, please subscribe, and give the video a thumbs up if you like it. Tiny Tina Major Doom, hopefully I see you guys in groups, and you can hang out sometime. Alright, later.